All right, guys. So obviously we got a pretty crazy glimpse of what Kevin Levrone is going to be bringing to the Olympia stage this year. First and foremost, guys, obviously he doesn't have his protein on. He's not carbed up. He's carb depleted, and he's pretty pale. And the lighting's not the best, but for the most part, we can see what he's bringing to the stage, especially from the back. Now, the reality of the situation is, man, it doesn't really matter how much he carbs up. If the muscle's not there, the muscle's not there regardless of carbs. And you can tell from the back he has some serious deficiencies from the back. And it's very noticeable. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is comparing the pictures of him from the pose down at the press conference to the top three guys in the Olympia. All the people who have theories of Kevin Levrone winning the Olympia this year, I think this video and that press conference pose down really crushed a lot of those theories. So here we have him next to Phil Heath. Just a couple things that you should note is the bicep peaks from the back, the traps from the back, the upper lats from the back. We're going to go ahead and ignore the legs in all these pictures. So here we have Kevin, Phil, and Shawn all in most muscular poses. A couple things I would note here. Kevin's traps look pretty good compared to these guys. Shawn's traps look pretty good in this shot. Again, I would say Phil Heath is pretty tricep dominant in this shot. His triceps are definitely one of the best in this shot. Forearms. Another thing that I'm noticing with Kevin Levrone in these most muscular shots and just in general from the press conference pose down is that his famous tiny waist, really doesn't look that tiny. I mean, his midsection, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's looking, it looks thick. I mean, he doesn't have a bubble gut or anything, and it's not like he's distended, but, that famous tiny waist that he's really known for and supposed to change the game this year and all that, I'm really not seeing it. I mean, his waist looks pretty comparable to these guys' waists. Another thing that I noticed is specifically his chest. His chest is really lacking a lot of fullness compared to especially Phil. When he's next to Phil in these pictures, man, his chest is really looking deficient from the front. Overall, I think he looks good from the front at the press conference. Overall, better than I expected him to look. Again, you got to take those pictures with a grain of salt because he doesn't have his tan on. He's carb depleted. He's still got time to carb up. But like I said, man, if the muscle's not there, the muscle's not there. You can clearly see, even though he's flat, you can see that there's a clear deficiency in just overall thickness and mass in his chest. Even when he carbs up, that pec muscle is going to be the same size as it was before. It's just going to be a little bit harder, a little bit denser, and a little bit fuller, but it's going to be the same, muscle belly that it was in these pictures. So here he is next to Shawn Rhoden. He's looking pretty good in the front most muscular. Not horrible. Here's a picture. Again, these are two different pictures. The picture that you're seeing here is from his hotel room the day before the press conference. So these are two different pictures from two different days, but generally same conditioning, the same physique, just different lighting and different environments surrounding the photos. So again, he compares pretty favorably with these guys from the front. I don't see anything that stands out that really makes him super dominant in these poses, though. Here he is with Dexter. I think Dexter's delts look a little bit better in this photo. I think Kevin's triceps, might be overwhelming Dexter's triceps here. I think Dexter's biceps might look a little bit better from the front. Even Dexter's abs, man, his abs are looking a little bit more crazy than Kevin's abs. And that's what Kevin is supposedly going to be famous for, is his midsection and his abs. And I'm really not seeing, that great of abs from Kevin. So here's another shot, again with the hotel room picture, Kevin and Dexter. Again, both pictures, different lighting circumstances, but you still can't really see, a great detail in Kevin's abs versus these guys' abs. Now I know, again, on stage versus off stage, no pro-tan, better lighting, but his abs really do not look that etched and carved in compared to some of these guys, and that's what Kevin was supposed to be famous for. So here's Kevin's back double next to Shawn's. I believe this is the last photo comparison that I have. But again, if you just look at Kevin from the back, man, you can see clear deficiencies in the lats. His lower back, you can obviously see the loose skin where the conditioning's a problem. Yeah, man, you can just see from the back, Kevin Levrone is not winning this Olympia. A lot of people don't want to admit that, but it's just a fact at this point.